This month, we sold both our Tesla Model S's, and it's for more than just the reason everybody's selling their Teslas right now. I'm Paul, this is Paul's Garage, and let me share with you our experience of owning two Model S Teslas and why we wouldn't buy a Tesla again. So we bought our Model 3s over 8 years ago. We were early adopters and we really wanted to go green. We already had solar on our roof and we were overproducing, so we thought it would be a good idea to get two electric cars where we could use that extra energy and basically not pay for gas. Once we got the cars, we really loved them. And then people used to ask, do you like your Tesla? I love the Tesla, but I don't like the company. And that's why I wouldn't buy another Tesla again. So let's start at the very beginning. When we bought both cars, we had problems with both deliveries. When I took delivery of my car, they actually lost the paperwork and registration, and I was calling all over into Fremont until finally they found it, and it took several months before I can actually get the paperwork for my car to get it insured. And I just chalked it up as Tesla was a new company at the time and they weren't very organized, and there were things that were slipping through the cracks. When we bought our second Tesla, they were so overwhelmed with new deliveries that they said they wanted to deliver our Tesla at a McDonald's. We thought that would be weird because we wanted to sit there and go over the car and understand the car with someone from the dealer. However, they were so overwhelmed with deliveries that they just wanted to get cars out the door as fast as possible. What really got us going was when we had fender benders and we required parts to have our vehicles repaired. I had a small fender bender in the rear quarter of my car and I needed a new tail lamp. The approved body shop could only communicate with Tesla online. There was no one to call, and they were giving no delivery dates on when a tail light would come in. I then tried to use channels through the local dealer to find out how I could perhaps facilitate getting a tail light. I finally got a phone number of someone who was the regional service person here, and I called every day and left a message. It took her about 2 weeks to respond to my calls, and she finally called back, was able to get a tail light out of her stock and sent it to our repair person. Now, had I not gotten involved, we might have been waiting months for a tail light. And there was no way that the vendor could escalate that and try to figure out when the tail light was going to get delivered. But there's really two issues that made me decide I wouldn't buy another Tesla. First was the screen issue. If you've owned an early Model S, you probably know that there were problems with the screens that were in the cars. And in fact, over time, the screen started to delaminate, and the glue that actually kept the top of the screen to the bottom of the screen actually started dripping all over the interior of your car. And not only that, you would have spots on your screen where you couldn't see anything. The only way to repair this was to get two new screens and a new processor, which was a very, very expensive repair. And they actually changed the way they made the screens very early on into their production run. But they didn't go back and support the customers who had this issue to begin with. But one of the main reasons I wanted to get rid of my Tesla recently happened. And that was with the drivetrain. If you're familiar with Teslas and most electric vehicles, they have an 8-year warranty on the battery and drive unit. And that means if there's any problems with the battery degradation, if it degrades more than it should, or if the drive units go out, they're covered by warranty. Well, 8 days after my 8-year warranty expired, I got this error message saying my car was undrivable. When I contacted Tesla service, they told me that the drive units were bad in my car and I would need new drive units. I then explained that this is 8 days after the warranty had expired, and as a good grace, could they at least give me some goodwill and cover the repairs under the warranty? Unfortunately, they said no. I kept going up the chain and finally talked to a regional service person who said, it's out of the warranty, there's nothing we can do. Then I got the bill. They told me that the repair was over $7,000 for replacing a drive unit and that my air conditioner had to be replaced as well, though I'm not quite sure why. They said it was causing some electrical problems. Now, grant you, this is an 8-year-old Tesla that had 56,000 miles on it. It had depreciated so much that it wasn't worth putting anything in there. With recent events and with Elon Musk, there's no way I would buy another Tesla. I really enjoyed 8 years of ownership. We both enjoyed both cars very much. However, whenever we had a problem, we always reluctantly took it to the service center, knowing it was going to be an issue, trying to figure out how to get an appointment through the app, talking to them, making sure the repair was done, and then the cost of the repairs. So what did we get? Well, we stayed electric, and we went to 2 different vehicles. We got a Porsche Taycan all-electric and a Lucid Air. I'll be talking about those cars in other videos. If you like my eclectic collection of cars, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and enjoy the open road.